In this video, we're going over the new best settings to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 3 Reloaded. If you're looking to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, you came to the right place. As you can see, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle on the back, the short paddle set up for jumping. These settings are going to work no matter what controller you're playing with and also no matter what console you are playing on. I got you covered. Now, what you can see also is for the button layout, I do play on tactical. Tactical is going to be the absolute best button layout, remapping your crouch and your prone button so you can perform a drop shot while still being aimed down sight. With the Omni movement, this is a very nice setting to play on here in Black Ops 6 as well as Warzone, because you're going to be a lot more deadly at those close and medium ranges. Make sure you guys go ahead and make the switch, even if you are not playing with a controller with paddles on the back. Now, everything else is going to be the same except here the horizontal as well as the vertical stick sensitivity. I recommend players playing within the 1.4 to 1.6 sensitivity window. This is going to be really important so you can drastically improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill at those longer ranges. This is going to allow you to have enough movement to turn on players, but at those longer ranges you are going to be accurate enough to hit your shots, and that's where most people are going to be falling short. Anybody can take somebody out at close range. It's long range where players are having difficulty, and playing within that 1.4 to 1.6 range, which is essentially going to be a 4 to a 6/7 sensitivity, is going to be perfect. So make sure you guys go ahead and run your settings accordingly. Everything else here is going to be the same except that my controller vibration is turned off. This is going to be a setting that you're either going to turn off and never turn back on, or turn it off and find out that you actually like the vibration. Maybe you like the more real world effect, but in all reality, I don't want to have anything that could potentially throw off my aim and accuracy at longer ranges, and that's exactly why I have my vibration turned off here in Black Ops 6 as well as Warzone. And as you can see here, these are my dead zone settings. Remember, dead zone settings are going to be specific to your own controller health, so you can obviously combat stick drift if you have any. And by the way, if you need help leveling up your weapons, Damn Mods has you covered. They offer services such as max leveling all of your weapons, as well as unlocking camo challenges all the way up to Dark Matter. They even have COD points and limited time operator bundles for purchase on the website as well. So for cheap, reliable, and fast Black Ops 6 services on all platforms, check out Damn Mods. Link is at the top of the description. And make sure to use my discount code EARS to save on your purchases. For the aiming settings, as you can see, for the sensitivity multiplier, I have made some changes here. For your aided sensitivity multiplier as well as focusing, I've reduced this from 1 to 0.7. This is going to allow you to have less stick place. You can be a lot more accurate at longer ranges. Very important here in Black Ops 6 as well as Warzone, especially if you are running within that 1.4 to 1.6 sensitivity range, like I do recommend. For the look inversion, this is going to be on standard. For your aiming advanced settings, I do go ahead and adjust your aided sensitivity transition timing to instant. This is going to be a very important setting to go ahead and have on, because if you don't, there is going to be a delay between your aided sensitivity transitioning from hip fire to actual ADS, and you do not want to have that happen, especially if you are struggling with those long range gunfights. Aim assist response curve type is going to be on standard. Now, the thing about this is you can go ahead and play on linear or dynamic, but here in Black Ops 6, standard is going to be the easiest to get used to. I used to play on linear in Modern Warfare 3, and here in Black Ops 6, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like I have to actually fight the aim assist in this game, and you don't want to do that, especially if you're on a controller. So that's why I recommend playing on standard. But if you like linear, obviously play on linear. If you like dynamic, obviously play on dynamic. This is going to be a personal preference setting. My settings that I'm already providing are going to be working well with either dynamic, linear, or standard. It's just that I personally feel that standard is going to be the easiest to get used to. Everything else here is not going to be touched. Now, what you also want to see is the target aim assist is obviously going to be turned on. Motion sensor behavior is turned off. And we're going to be going over to the movement. Tactical sprint assist is going to be enabled. The reason I go ahead and put on tactical sprint assist is so you can get around the map a lot faster. It's one less button you have to press. And once you go ahead and select this, make sure that your sprint assist delay is going to be turned all the way down to 0. Even if you don't play with tactical sprint assist enabled, you do not want to have a value here, because there is going to be a delay from going from sprint to ADS, and that's going to be an incredible hindrance when trying to run and gun, and honestly just playing the game in general. Everything else here is going to be the same. I have mantle assist turned off, crouch assist turned off, corner slice turned off. My slide dive behavior is going to be on hybrid, so I'm not doing any unnecessary movements. With the Omni movement, it's very easy to accidentally dive, slide, and that's going to get you killed in a gunfight, especially if somebody is already pre-firing you or already ADS'd at you. That's exactly why I play on hybrid. And then everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments. Now for the combat settings, the only thing I do recommend going ahead and switching to, especially if you are playing on Warzone, is for your C4 detonation. I do recommend having this 1 by 1, just so you don't actually have to go ahead and throw both of them to detonate the C4, because that'd be incredibly irritating in my personal opinion. But everything else here is going to be the same. I do not have any other settings adjusted for the controller under combat. For the graphic settings, as you can see, your motion reduction preset is going to be turned off. Arachnophobia mode, if that bothers you, obviously turn that on, but I have it turned off. For your FOV, I recommend playing within that 100 to 100 in FOV range. It's going to be giving you a bigger picture. And once you go ahead and couple that with affected, it's going to mirror whatever iron sight or optic you are using. That's going to be your FOV. So you're going to essentially have less visual recoil. If you're ever wondering how other high skilled players, YouTubers, streamers seem like they have 0 recoil, definitely go ahead and switch out your FOV from the standard 90, bump it up to around 100 to 120 with the affected ADS field of view. You're going to see a significant improvement with your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, especially at those medium and longer ranges once you go ahead and make these adjustments. Everything else here is going to be the same, but I do recommend taking off world motion blur as well as weapon motion blur. It's very important to go ahead and disable these, because if you do not disable these, your game is going to have a ridiculously annoying haze. It's going to be hard to see people at longer ranges, especially if they're sitting in darker corners. And considering the fact that that kind of happens a lot here in Black Ops 6, I highly recommend going ahead and turning off these settings, because they're just going to be a hindrance. And for your first person camera movement, I recommend having this at 50%. This is going to be allowing you to have less screen shake. So if grenades are going off, which happen quite often, especially if you're playing maps like Babylon or Nuketown, it isn't going to disrupt your screen nearly as much. You can kind of stay on target and still figure out where people are at, even though there's a lot of explosions going off in the background. Definitely a very important setting to adjust. You can do third person if you want, but it doesn't really matter. Everything else here has been the same, but I do have my inverted flashbang turned on, just so it is less annoying when you do get flashbang. This is going to be a personal preference setting. I like it on, but some people might not like it on. Doesn't really matter. It's just, again, personal preference. And for the audio settings, they don't call me ears for nothing. Running a headset is very important here in Black Ops 6. For the master game volume, I have this set to 100, so you can hear footsteps and gunfire a hell of a lot easier. For whatever reason, you actually can't expand the tab anymore, which is kind of crazy. But for my music volume, I have that reduced to 35, just because it is quite loud in this Call of Duty. Now for your audio mix, I recommend playing on headphones bass boost. This is going to be very important, allowing you to hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. This is going to be allowing you to pinpoint where people are at on the map without actually having to use a UAV, which is a massive W. If you have a headset, I have Astro A40 TRs that I bought literally 7 years ago. They're still putting in some work. Having headphones bass boost with that game volume set to 100 is going to be allowing you to hear footsteps and gunfire really easy here in multiplayer as well as Warzone. Everything else here is going to be the same, but what I do recommend going ahead and doing under the voice chat, especially if you have a mic, go ahead and have it set to push to talk so you're not annoying the lobby. This is just going to be like a respect thing, because it happens so often that you're in a game and then somebody is, you know, watching TV, the mom's vacuuming in the background, something going on. If you have a mic, put that to push to talk so you're not annoying the lobby. But again, that's what I recommend. And finally, for the interface settings, the only setting that I do go ahead and change is switching my mini map shape to square. So not only are you getting a bigger picture, but it's also going to be a lot easier to read and interpret where people are at on the map. If you do want a dedicated video on how to read and interpret the mini map to figure out where people are spawning at and to predict traffic patterns, let me know down in the comment section. We might be able to get that done here in season 3. These are going to be the absolute best settings to run here in Black Ops 6 Season 3 Reloaded. Want to make a settings update video because I know a lot of people are getting back on Black Ops 6. Every time they do an update, it's a good idea to go ahead and refresh. Again, make sure you guys adjust your settings, and I don't know why everything just got reset here, but make sure you guys are playing on the 1.6 to 1.4 sensitivity setting range. This is exactly why I make the settings videos, because at a moment's notice, things can be reset, as it just happened here. So let me go ahead and fix up my settings. If you guys enjoyed, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. This is why I make these vids, because look, it just got reset out of nowhere.